One of these four foods is sitting in your fridge right now. You think it's the safest one. It's actually the one that surprises doctors the most. Rice, chicken, spinach, eggs. Four foods you've reheated 100 times without thinking twice. And by the end of this video, one of them is going to change how you think about your fridge completely. Not because of some hidden conspiracy, but because of a chemical reaction almost nobody talks about. Here's the deal. There's a mountain of content out there screaming, "This food gives you cancer." Dramatic music, no sources, zero nuance. That's not what this is. I'm going to show you the real chemistry behind all four foods, what the actual research supports, and where those viral claims go completely off the rails. Rice is going to surprise you a little. Chicken is going to surprise you more. Spinach is going to feel like a betrayal. But egg number 4, the food literally every nutritionist tells you to eat more of, is the one that's going to change your Sunday meal prep forever. Let's start with the one you've probably done this week. 1. Rice. You cook a big pot of rice, eat half, and put the rest in the fridge for tomorrow. Totally normal. Except here's what's actually happening inside that container. Raw rice carries spores of a bacterium called Bacillus cereus. Cooking kills the active bacteria, but not the spores. If that rice cools slowly or sits at room temperature too long before it hits the fridge, those spores wake up and start multiplying, producing a heat-resistant toxin called cereulide. Here's the twist. When you reheat that rice tomorrow, the heat kills the bacteria all over again. But the toxin? It doesn't care. It survives the microwave completely intact. It's already done its damage before you even took a bite. This has a name in food safety: fried rice syndrome. It's a real, well-documented cause of sudden vomiting-type food poisoning, usually within a few hours of eating. Now, you've probably seen videos claiming this toxin is a cancer risk, pointing to lab studies on cell mitochondria. That's a stretch. The real proven danger here is acute food poisoning, not cancer. Same with the claim that reheated rice creates acrylamide. That compound mostly forms in dry, high-heat cooking, like frying or roasting, not in a bowl of steamed rice going through the microwave. So rice isn't secretly carcinogenic. It's just genuinely dangerous if you handle it wrong, which most people do, constantly. Here's the fix. Cool it fast, fridge within an hour, eat within a day or two. Don't reheat it twice. That's the easy one. But this wasn't even the one that should worry you the most. 2. Chicken. Chicken is the gold standard of eating healthy. Every fitness influencer, every dietitian, every meal prep container in America has grilled chicken in it. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. When meat is exposed to high heat, grilling, frying, cooking it well done, the proteins undergo a transformation that produces compounds called heterocyclic amines. HCAs. This isn't fringe science. It's one of the most studied areas in dietary cancer research. Once HCAs get into your body, your liver converts them into reactive compounds that can bind directly to your DNA. And DNA damage in the wrong gene, especially a tumor suppressor gene, is one of the actual starting points of cancer. A real, replicated body of research links frequent consumption of well-done and charred meat to increased colorectal cancer risk. But, and this is the part almost every viral video conveniently leaves out, HCAs mainly form during the first cook, not the reheat. If your chicken was gently baked or poached the first time, microwaving the leftovers isn't recreating some brand new cancer-forming event. The real culprit is char, not the second heating. You'll also see claims linking reheated chicken specifically to pancreatic cancer, usually citing a Harvard study. Be skeptical of that one. It's almost always a distortion of much broader dietary research that never actually isolated reheated chicken as the variable. When a claim that's specific has no traceable source, that's your red flag. Here's the fix. Watch the char on the first cook, not just the reheat. Eat leftovers cold or gently warmed. Well done blackened meat. That's the habit worth breaking, not the microwave. Chicken is the one that should actually worry you more than rice. But spinach, the food every doctor tells you to eat more of, is where this whole thing starts to feel unfair. 3. Spinach. Spinach might be the single most recommended vegetable on Earth. iron, folate, magnesium, antioxidants. Cardiologists push it, oncologists push it, and they're right. Fresh spinach is genuinely one of the best things you can eat. Here's the paradox. Spinach, along with celery, beets, and Swiss chard, is loaded with natural nitrates. In their normal state, those nitrates are actually good for your blood pressure and heart health. But once cooked spinach sits in the fridge, bacteria on the leaves start converting those nitrates into nitrites. Reheat it, and those nitrites can react with amino acids to form nitrosamines, the same family of compounds behind the WHO's 2015 classification of processed meat as a Group 1 carcinogen. One of the healthiest vegetables on the planet, quietly undergoing the same chemistry as bacon. That's the part that feels unfair. Here's the honest caveat though, and it matters. The strongest human evidence for nitrosamine cancer risk comes from regular, heavy exposure through cured meat, not from occasionally reheating a bowl of spinach. That old "never reheat spinach" warning your grandmother gave you? It actually came from concerns about infant feeding, babies eating high nitrate purees, not adult cancer risk. Different mechanism, different population. So yes, the chemistry is real. No, it's not a proven daily cancer threat for a healthy adult. It's a low-effort precaution, not an emergency. Here's the fix. Eat leafy greens fresh when you can. Leftovers. Eat cold. Don't store past 6 hours if you're planning to reheat. Spinach is the betrayal. But the fourth food is the one that's going to actually change what's in your fridge, because it's the one you were told was completely safe. 4. Eggs. Remember the hook. This is it. Eggs are, by almost every nutritional measure, one of the most complete foods you can eat. All 9 essential amino acids, choline for your brain, selenium, lutein, and zeaxanthin for your eyes. There's basically no argument against eggs as a healthy food, which is exactly why nobody expects this. Egg yolks are full of fat and cholesterol. Cook an egg once, and some of that fat oxidizes, completely normal. But refrigerate that cooked egg and reheat it, especially at high heat, and that oxidation speeds up dramatically, producing compounds called oxysterols, oxidized cholesterol byproducts. Oxysterols have gotten serious scientific attention over the last decade. Lab research describes them as pro-inflammatory, and in some studies, genotoxic, meaning capable of damaging DNA directly. That's the mechanism that puts eggs on a list like this at all. Here's the important caveat, and I promised you the honest version, not the scary one. Most of this evidence comes from lab studies, animal models, or heavily processed egg products, like the powdered egg used in packaged food, not from strong human studies proving that your microwaved scrambled eggs are raising your cancer risk. This is a plausible, worth-knowing mechanism. It is not a proven kitchen disaster. So the twist isn't, eggs are secretly toxic. The twist is this. The food everyone assumes is automatically safe to reheat is actually the one with the least forgiving chemistry. And almost nobody knows it, because eggs have such a spotless nutritional reputation that no one thinks to question the reheat. Here's the fix. Eat eggs fresh when it's easy. Meal prepping hard-boiled eggs? Store them unpeeled. Eat cold. You lose almost nothing by skipping the reheat. If you do warm an egg dish, go gentle. Low oven, warm water bath, not a full-power microwave blast. You don't need to memorize 4 different chemistry lessons. One habit handles almost all of this. Cook portions you'll actually eat fresh. Cool leftovers fast. Refrigerate promptly. Reheat gently instead of blasting on high. And don't reheat the same food twice. That's it. That single habit addresses the bacterial risk in rice, the char-driven risk in chicken, the nitrate conversion in spinach, and the oxidation risk in eggs, all at once. None of this means panic. Rice, chicken, spinach, and eggs are still genuinely healthy foods. The difference between the fear-based version of this video and this one is simple. Real mechanisms, real caveats, and the truth about where the actual risk lives versus where the clickbait wants you to think it lives. So, which one got you? Be honest. Was it rice, the one you already knew was risky? Chicken, The healthy protein? Spinach? The betrayal? Or eggs? The twist you didn't see coming? Tell me in the comments, and tell me what food you want broken down like this next, because that's genuinely what decides next week's video. If this saved you from believing one of those cancer doctor fear videos without any sources, subscribe. Every week, this channel takes a viral health claim and shows you exactly what the research does and doesn't support. And if you know someone who reheats their lunch on autopilot every single day, send them this video. Not to scare them, just so they know what you know now. See you in the next one. This content is for general educational purposes and is not medical advice. Talk to a doctor or registered dietitian about your specific diet and health needs.